Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Ever feel like there's more to reality than we see, like we're just scratching the surface of something much bigger?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what we're going to explore today. It's all about cosmic awareness. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and just felt a sense of wonder, realizing just how vast the universe is?
Definitely.
That's kind of the direction we're headed. We're going to unpack this idea of cosmic awareness and how it all connects to those big questions, about our place and everything.
Right.
And to guide us, we've got two really interesting sources.
Okay.
First, we have Beyond the Narrow Life by Kili Ortego. He really dives into this whole cosmic awareness thing, like giving us a framework for understanding ourselves within the context of, the cosmos.
Okay, interesting.
And then we're going to bring in Grandmother Ayahuasca.
Okay.
Which is a collection of firsthand accounts of ayahuasca ceremonies. It'll help us ground these concepts in, like real-life experiences.
What I find fascinating about Ortega's perspective is the way he connects exploring the vastness of the cosmos to understanding ourselves better.
Oh, interesting.
So, if we think back to the night sky example, taking a step back to see the whole picture and realizing we're a part of something much, much bigger.
And it's not just about, staring into space and feeling insignificant, right? Ortego emphasizes personal reflection. He even includes these self-reflections check-in sections in the book.
Yeah, it's like a roadmap helping you connect those grand cosmic ideas to your own experiences.
Exactly. It's one thing to talk about the vastness of the universe, but when you start to reflect on what it means for your own life, your own purpose, your own understanding of reality, that's when it gets really interesting. And that's where Grandmother Ayahuasca comes in. These stories show how people have experienced these expanded states of consciousness firsthand. And I have to say, some of these accounts are mind-blowing. We're talking like altered perceptions, encounters with entities or energies, beyond ordinary reality. Things that really challenge how we understand what's possible.
Yeah, and that's what's so powerful about these firsthand accounts. These aren't just theories. These are real people sharing their experiences, which can be incredibly powerful, even if they might seem unusual at first.
Right. So, for example, there's this one story in the book about a person who had a vision of a jaguar shapeshifting.
Wow.
I mean, talk about blurring the lines between reality and perception.
Yeah.
What do you think that symbolizes, in the context of cosmic awareness?
Well, the jaguar is often seen as a powerful symbol transformation, connection to the spiritual realm. In this experience, the shapeshifting could represent a kind of transformation of consciousness, a breakdown of boundaries between the self and the outside world.
Yeah, like maybe our everyday perception of reality is just one way of seeing things, and there are other states of consciousness where those boundaries are more fluid. And there's another story, this one really stuck with me, about a shaman, Don Jose. During a ceremony, he seemed to remember the person he was with from a past encounter.
That raises questions about consciousness and time. Under the influence of ayahuasca, could we tap into a realm where our normal understanding of time doesn't apply?
Right. What if the past, present, and future aren't as fixed as we think? What if ayahuasca lets us experience time differently, where everything is connected?
It's definitely a lot to wrap your head around.
It is. But it's important to approach these stories with curiosity and an open mind. Even if we don't fully get it, they challenge our assumptions about what's real and what's possible.
I agree.
And Grandmother Ayahuasca doesn't shy away from the challenging side of these experiences. One story describes an ayahuasca journey as one of the worst experiences I've ever had.
Wow.
Intense nausea, discomfort, and really no visions or insights.
It shows how unpredictable ayahuasca can be. It's not a guaranteed path to bliss.
Definitely not a magic bullet. Everyone will respond to these experiences differently. And even a challenging experience can be valuable.
Absolutely. In fact, even the most difficult experiences can lead to profound growth and healing if you approach them with the right mindset and support.
Makes you think about how you can, prepare yourself for those kinds of experiences.
Yeah, it reminds me of what James Fadiman talks about in the Psychedelic Explorer's Guide. He puts a lot of emphasis on set and setting.
Right. Set being your mindset going into the experience.
Exactly. Your intentions, expectations, anything you're bringing with you emotionally, it all plays a part. And then there's setting the physical and social environment.
So like in Grandmother Ayahuasca, those ceremonies emphasize a safe and comfortable space.
Right.
Trusted people present. It makes sense.
Absolutely. It's about creating a supportive environment, minimizing anxieties or distractions, which is super important with these heightened states of consciousness.
Yeah, totally. Like setting the stage for a positive journey, whether you're exploring cosmic awareness through reflection or, venturing into ayahuasca ceremonies.
Exactly.
Speaking of setting the stage, Fadiman also talks about music, how it can really shape the psychedelic experience. Do you see that reflected in Grandmother Ayahuasca?
Oh, absolutely. Music is a big part of many ceremonies described in the book. It can be like a guide, helping to navigate those different stages of the journey.
And it's not just any music, right? Fadiman gives specific recommendations, like starting with calmer music and then moving into more expansive, evocative stuff as the experience unfolds.
It's fascinating how the right music can really deepen the experience.
For sure. But it's not all about the experience itself, is it? It's what you do afterward that matters. We can't talk about this without talking about integration.
Absolutely. And that's where Mark Itila's book, Psychedelic Integration, comes in. He reminds us that these experiences, as transformative as they can be, need to be integrated into our everyday lives. And a crucial point he makes is how these experiences can sometimes bring up past traumas.
Like they just surface.
Yeah, they can bring those buried experiences to light to be processed and healed.
That's got to be challenging. It's not always a clear memory, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's symbolic or emotional.
Yeah.
And that takes some serious unpacking.
Exactly. And that's why Ixala outlines different types of challenging experiences that can come up. He categorizes them based on how intense they are, how much they might disrupt someone's life.
So it's like a roadmap to help people understand those potential pitfalls.
Exactly. And it helps you recognize when you might need support or guidance during integration, not to scare anyone away, but to give them the knowledge to handle things safely and responsibly.
Which is key when you're dealing with something as powerful as, expanding your consciousness and maybe digging into those deep-seated emotions and memories. It's like we're talking about a whole new approach to personal growth and healing, one that really gets how connected everything is.
And that ties in with what Ortego talks about in Beyond the Narrow Life, cultivating compassion.
Compassion. How does that fit into all of this with the universe and these intense internal experiences?
Well, Ortega says that when we expand our awareness beyond our own limited perspective, that narrow life, we start to see ourselves as part of something so much bigger and interconnected.
Interconnectedness. It's like when you look up at the night sky and feel that sense of awe. The world feels huge, but your problems feel smaller somehow.
Exactly. It's that shift in perspective that lets us tap into a deeper well of compassion for ourselves and others.
So it's not just about knowing we're connected in some abstract way. It's about letting that realization change how we treat ourselves and interact with the world.
Exactly. And Ortego is big on self-compassion. He says that when we're kind to ourselves, we can then extend that same compassion outward.
It's like you can't pour from an empty cup. You got to fill yourself up with compassion before you can share it.
Love that. And what's really interesting is that Ortego doesn't shy away from, the difficult parts of being human. He says that compassion doesn't mean ignoring our flaws or pretending everything's perfect.
So accepting the good and the bad in ourselves and others.
Exactly. He even suggests that those shadow sides, the parts we hide, can help us heal and grow if we acknowledge them.
Instead of projecting our own stuff onto others, we can own it and work through it.
Right. And when we do that inner work, we can better extend compassion to people who might trigger those parts of us. It's a powerful cycle.
So cosmic awareness isn't just about, stargazing or altered states. It's about changing how we relate to everything, ourselves, each other, the world around us.
That's it. And as we expand our awareness and cultivate that compassion, so many new possibilities open up in our own lives and in understanding the universe.
So where do we go from here? What's the takeaway for our listeners who are, feeling inspired to dig deeper into these ideas?
Well, Ortega's self-reflections check-in sections are amazing. They have these really insightful questions anyone can use to explore cosmic awareness in their own lives.
Good point. This is a journey, not a finish line. It's about constantly reflecting, integrating, challenging what we think we know about ourselves and the universe.
Couldn't agree more.
And what about those meditation exercises in the book? They seem like a great starting point for someone who maybe isn't ready for psychedelics, but wants to tap into that expanded awareness.
Absolutely. They can help you become present and aware of your thoughts, feelings, and sensations, like building that foundation of mindfulness that can support any further exploration.
So whether it's stargazing, meditation, or something else, I think approaching it with curiosity, respect, and that compassion we've been talking about is key.
Beautifully said. And as you explore, embrace the unknown. Be open to new perspectives, experiences, ways of being. The journey is the reward.
The perfect note to end on. To all our listeners, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep expanding your awareness. The universe is vast, full of wonders, and we're all a part of something much bigger than ourselves.